In this video we are going to talk about how to get rid of mushrooms in garden lawns the easy way. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. How mushrooms grow. The small umbrella-like living things that you see coming out in your yard are mushrooms. They are often associated in movies as abodes of fairies and toads. What you see on the sides of dead trees and staircases that are seldom reached by sunlight are also mushrooms. Well, I assume you already know this right from the start, right? This explains why they appear abundantly during the rainy season or when you water your yard too often. They are likewise evident in parts where there's animal dung or grass clippings that are decaying. New lawns usually have a lot of moisture as a lot of water is needed to foster the growth of roots underneath the soil. When mushroom spores have been living in the sod even before it was laid down and watered, they will naturally germinate once they are positioned. After which, they start to break down organic nutrients and materials in the lawn and underneath the soil. Once these fungi have amply grown, mushroom will start bursting out and showing up. What keeps mushrooms alive? Dead matter. Mushrooms do not rely on sunlight in order to grow. They will remain alive and kicking as long as there are lifeless organic matters to consume. Fungi are capable of breaking down dead leaves and dead branches, trunks, and trees, which makes them the best decomposers on Earth. Once there's a dead matter in your lawn, expect to see mushrooms. Maybe you're asking if it's good or bad. It is good because it only means that you're standing on healthy soil. At the same time, it's also bad because it's destroying your lawn. Water. As already mentioned earlier, mushrooms are evident in areas that have a high retention of moisture. After a rainy day, they would crop up and begin to be noticed. The growth of mushrooms is inevitable during the rainy season or when you just laid down your sod where you need to water it every now and then. But this can actually be reduced by removing the excess nutrients that feed the fungi. Make sure to pick up and dispose of all dead leaves, branches, and animal excrements, if any. Types of mushrooms that grow in yards. Mushrooms belong to the family of fungi and its species has a long list. In fact, according to Bob Vila, there are at least 38,000 types of mushrooms alone, which are classified as either toxic or non-toxic. However, not all these types of mushrooms grow in the yard. The three types that usually grow in yards are the death angel mushrooms, meadow mushrooms, and horse mushrooms. Death angel mushrooms are those that have white caps and gills. They are the toxic type. The meadow mushrooms, on the other hand, have white caps and dark brown gills. Lastly, mushrooms that have creamy white caps are known as horse mushrooms, and they are edible and harmless. Horse mushrooms harmless and edible. Lawn mushrooms do not just include those that are classic shaped. There are the bird's nest mushrooms that look like small nests that are packed with fungal eggs. Also included are the elephant umbrellas, joint puffballs and many more. Be watchful of mushrooms that grow in lawns, especially if you have kids or pets. Some toxic or poisonous mushrooms include the green-spored mushrooms and the lawnmower's mushroom. Maybe you've also heard of mushrooms with rings around them. Don't eat them as they are not edible. If eaten, they can cause an upset stomach and even death. Mushrooms in grasses and flower beds. Are mushrooms good or bad? Mushrooms sometimes look good in between grasses and flower beds because they offer contrast. But unfortunately, many people find them more of an annoyance than an advantage. The toxic mushrooms that cause upset stomachs are the ones that need to be eradicated. They need to be ripped up immediately before your kids and pets get tempted to play with them or, the worst, eat them. But then again, not all mushrooms are toxic. Some of these fungi are not distressful. As per the statewide integrated pest management program of the University of California, poison-infested fungi in lawns or gardens hardly ever form structures that are mushroom-like. Most mushrooms actually serve as support in lawns. They remain undetected until they become fully grown and ready for reproduction. Wiping out mushrooms. Killing mushrooms that flourish in grasses and flower beds does not affect their entire population since they only represent a tiny part of it. There are fungicides that may be used for controlling the growth of mushrooms, but they are not usually allowed to be used in homes because of their chemical contents that are hazardous to one's health. So, instead of using fungicides, it would be safer and better to just alter the conditions that promote the increase of the mushroom population. The most important thing to do in wiping out mushrooms is to start diminishing the ring mushrooms followed by the non-toxic ones. How to put an end to the persistent growth of mushrooms. When you take a stroll across your damp lawn after days of rainfall, you will surely stumble upon springy mushrooms, which many garden owners consider as undesirable. If they can be unearthed easily, They can also reappear over and over again easily. But of course, there will always be ways to get rid of them. Just gather up all the things needed and you're ready to put an end to your mushroom problem. How to rid your lawn of mushrooms. Begin removing all dead matters from your lawn. All branches, fallen leaves, cut grass and limbs should be heaved and carried away. To do away with the mushrooms, use a rake. Do not hold the mushrooms with your bare hands, make sure to use protective rubber gloves. Pick up the extricated mushrooms and dump them into a garbage bag. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.